Welcome to this explainer. Okay, buckle up because we're diving headfirst into a totally massive July 4th weekend in global sports. This weekend delivered absolute shockwaves across the board. We're talking monumental bracket-busting upsets on the grass courts, complete touchline chaos on the soccer pitch, and some truly massive blockbuster trades brewing in franchise cricket. Basically, the whole sports landscape just got flipped upside down. So let's cut through the noise and figure out exactly what just happened. Here's our starting lineup today. Number 1, England completely stuns India. Number 2, we'll look at those massive IPL 2027 trade rumors. Number 3, France survives a fiery World Cup clash against Paraguay. And finally, number 4, Wimbledon's wild weekend of shockers and showdowns. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. Cricket. England stuns India.
Okay, so we're starting in Manchester, and wow, what a crazy momentum swing this was. India comes out and posts a really competitive 190 for 7, right? Ishan Kishan and Captain Shreyas Iyer were looking super fluent out there, but it's the chase that really blew everyone's minds. England chases it down, finishing at 191 for 6, and get this, they did it with a whole over left to spare. Winning by 4 wickets with 6 balls remaining against this specific Indian attack? Something spectacular had to happen in those dying moments.
Well, what happened comes down to this number. 29. Yeah, 29 runs. That is the staggering amount conceded by India's Ravi Bishnoi in what can only be called a disastrous 17th over. And you know how the math works in a tight T20 run chase? The death overs are literally everything. A single 29-run over doesn't just, slightly shift the momentum, it virtually ends the game on the spot. It was basically handing the keys to the match straight over to the English batters.
And the Indian camp? Yeah, they knew exactly what happened. Listen to this incredibly candid post-match reflection from Captain Shreyas Iyer. He literally said, "We all know where we went wrong. The 17th over ended up haunting us." Now, he was careful. He didn't want to entirely throw Bishnoi under the bus, and he made sure to mention that he expects him to learn from it and bounce back. But you just couldn't deny reality. That over was the undeniable turning point where the game completely slipped through their fingers.
Aside from that wild 17th over, there are a few key takeaways you really need to keep in mind here. For England, Jacob Bethel was the absolute hero. He put together one of the finest run-chase knocks of his career, with a vital 67-run stand. For India, the biggest bright spot was, hands down, the debut of teenager Vaibhav Suryavanshi. Stepping up on a stage like that with a fearless, unflinching attitude, it had everybody talking. So with England now up 1-0 in this 5-match series, the pressure is totally on. Both squads are heading to Trent Bridge in Nottingham for a massive third T20I decider on July 7th.
Section 2, IPL 2027 Mega Trade Rumors.
So while India regroups on the pitch, there is absolute strategic chaos unfolding in the IPL boardrooms. The most explosive whispers going around right now, a direct, blockbuster mega swap between 2 massive heavyweight franchises. We are talking about Hardik Pandya potentially leaving the Mumbai Indians for the Kolkata Knight Riders, with Cameron Green going the exact opposite way back to Mumbai. If this actually materializes, it fundamentally alters the power dynamic and the entire tactical balance of both of those squads. But wait, it's not just Pandya and Green. The sheer scale of this rumored reshuffle is, frankly, staggering. Up to 15 prominent players could be wearing new colors next season. Think about that for a second. I really want you to take away just how vastly different the 2027 season is going to look if all these trades actually go through. The franchise landscapes we've all grown so used to are on the verge of a total seismic shift.
All right, Section 3. FIFA World Cup, France defeats Paraguay.
Let's pivot seamlessly right over to the soccer pitch. And guys, this wasn't just a game, it was an absolute battle out there. The tension completely boiled over when a foul on Kylian Mbappe sparked just utter chaos. It escalated so fast that the Paraguay goalkeeper totally lost his cool and threw the ball directly at Mbappe. Which, is certainly one way to try and stop the world's best forward, though highly illegal. And that bad blood lingered. Mbappe notably ignored the goalkeeper's handshake in a pretty bitter post-match snuck. But here is the crucial point in all of this. Despite those boiling tempers, despite the physical altercations, and all the intense drama, France kept their eyes on the prize. They successfully pushed through the absolute chaos and locked down their spot in the World Cup quarterfinals. Look, sometimes advancing in a knockout tournament isn't about playing pretty. It's just about surviving the storm, and France did exactly that.
Finally, Section 4, Wimbledon's shockers and showdowns.
Let's take a trip over to the pristine but highly unpredictable grass courts of Wimbledon. The women's draw has just been completely blown wide open. We saw two massive bracket-busting upsets. First, rising Philippine star Alex Yala did the truly unthinkable and knocked out the incredibly dominant Iga Swiatek. Meanwhile, Elise Mertens played spoiler by taking down Elena Rybakina. Honestly, it just proves once again that absolutely nothing is guaranteed when you step into the All England club.
And the emotional resonance of these upsets, it really hits home when you listen to the players afterward. Right after her massive breakthrough win against Swiatek, Alex Yala dedicated the victory to her younger self, just saying, "For her, this is everything." It's such a beautiful reminder of the lifelong dedication and grueling training, which for Yala even included practicing on a literal basketball court early on in her career, that goes into creating just one single historic Wimbledon moment like this.
So with the bracket completely shaken up now, we have some heavy-hitting, blockbuster showdowns on the docket. Number 1 seed Ariana Sabalenka is going toe-to-toe with former champion Naomi Osaka. That's a massive clash. Then we've got an all-American battle between number 4 Jessica Pegula and number 16 Iva Jovic. Plus, number 7 Coco Gauff is going to be seriously tested against number 11 Belinda Bencic. The stakes literally could not be any higher right now.
And hey, we definitely can't forget the men's side. Let's rapid fire through these updates. Defending champ and number 1 Jannik Sinner continues his run against Shintaro Mochizuki. 3-time champion Novak Djokovic gets the Cinderella story of the bracket, Roman Safiullin. We've also got a super interesting seeded matchup with Felix Auger-Aliassime taking on Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. But the big, unfortunate headline hanging over the entire men's draw, young superstar Carlos Alcaraz completely missed out due to injury, which leaves a massive void in the tournament. From the unexpected heroes in Manchester and the wild trade rumors buzzing in the IPL, to the fiery, dramatic clashes in the World Cup and those jaw-dropping upsets at Wimbledon, the sports world really gave us everything this weekend. So, I want to leave you with this question to think about. Which of these weekend shockers will ultimately define the 2026 season? Keep your eyes locked on these storylines because, trust me, they are far from over. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep that curiosity fired up until next time.